Alright, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lady Nika and with Queen Sugar. That's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about Queen Sugar. I've been uh procrastinating for a couple of days because my ass was busy. But here I am today and we're going to talk shit and swallow spit about the damn Queen Sugar girls. That's what we're gonna talk about. Queen Sugar, honey. Queen Sugar. Okay? And I'm gonna tell y'all something about this past episode. It was action packed. I'm sorry I'm late with it, but y'all know I'm trying to readjust to life again. Shit. But I came down through and I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do, thorough reviews on each one of my reviews that I do. But I apologize, I'm late, but here I am, bitch. Here I am, and I'm on camera, no bubbles and none of that shit. So let's do this, okay? Now this episode was action packed. Okay, action packed, if you ask me. Now, we start off with Darla and Blue returning from Blue's field trip to the aquarium, and they, discussing which aquatic animals they liked it and stuff, and they enjoyed each other. They had a good time, they talking about all the different, like I said, aquatic life that they enjoyed, what they liked best. It's just a wonderful time, some good mother-son bonding time is what she giving, okay? So as she's putting him in the car, getting him strapped in, he asked her, when you coming back to the house to live with us? She and he brought up that Pop said y'all getting married and we would be together forever. So she kind of stunned because at this time she don't know how to respond to that because they still haven't told this child that they not gonna get married and they not together no more. So that's part of why he acting out. It just goes to show you, just because a kid can't articulate what they feeling don't mean that the children don't know something is a breast, okay? He knows something ain't right between them and he want answers, and to be real, uh, she has no clue how to explain it, so she play it off until later, okay? Then she take him over to Hollywood and Aunt Vi's house, and did y'all see how Aunt Vi paid her dues? Girl, you really have torn this family completely apart, and you think these people gonna forgive you that easily? I don't think so. Child, she was trying to talk to unbuy two blue right on out her hand, and they went in the house. Hollywood was out there working on a delivery van that he had. Well, I think it's a truck. It's a delivery truck that he had bought for unbuy. He fixing it up. So, child, he basically paid her dust too. Child, he went back to working on the damn truck. I said, girl, you really have destroyed your relationship with these people. You know, what can one say? A part of me wish she had not had told them about this. I wish her parents hadn't made her feel like she had to tell Ralph Angel because it done tore this family apart. Blue is that centerpiece to this massive puzzle that keeps them all together. I can't say, but he had to find out, and I can't say Vine Hollywood or wrong because Darla, girl, you really messed up big time, and these people gave you a second chance, and you fucked up the second chance. She told his family apart, and that's the reason why I really don't feel no certain kind of way about what how they treating her. I do hate that she destroyed this relationship that she had built with this family. I do hate that she brought that bad news in, but I guess they had to find out. Child, is just a mess. Now, Benny did get hired by Ralph Angel, but something just ain't all the way right about Benny. I don't know what it is, y'all. He say, I say this because later on he showed up it was like nighttime at Ralph Angel's, and he had, he said he had to move out the house with his people because of some reason. So Ralph Angel let him stay overnight, but told him, this ain't no hotel, bro. I don't know what you gonna do, but we can't get used to that. So the next morning, he comes in the house. Ralph Angel offer him some breakfast, and they begin to talk. And he tells him, "Man, I've been locked up so long. I feel like I'm in a daze. I feel like I don't fit anywhere anymore. I walk around the neighborhood and everything seems brand new. I feel like I'm out of place." He said, "But one thing I kept thinking about when I was in that jail is that I never want to go back there again, and I ain't going back." Ralph Angel said he could relate to it because when he first got out, he said he told a time of when him and Daddy Bordelon had went to eat, and he said people just staring at him and stuff, and he just really felt out of place. But he said, I'm going to give you the advice my father gave me. Take it one day at a time. And later on, at the day's end, Ralph Angel asked him if he had secured a place to stay, and he said yes. And he tells him where it's at, and apparently, I think he said Crane Street. Ralph Angel was like, man, that shit ain't good over there. He was like, yeah, but that's all I got right now, and what they do don't make me shit. And basically, Ralph Angel said, yeah, until it start messing with your parole. See, what they got going on over there ain't something you want to be involved in because it can mess up your freedom, your bottom line. So he tell him, he said, look him, I'm going to let you stay here a little bit. But you got to understand, it comes with some rules. First and foremost, this ain't a hotel I'm running. You're going to have to, earn your keep. Secondly, I got a child here, so it's my rules, my way, or the highway. But I'm extending this olive branch to you to help you until you can figure out what you're going to do next, because I don't want you to go back to prison, and that's sure where you're going to go if you go over there where you say you're going to be living it, where you want to live in. So he tell him, he thanks him, and, he's accepting the offer, rules, and everything. So that's going to be that. Now, Benny, I don't know why, but my discernment is tingling. It is. It's tingling. I hope you receive the blessing and do right by Ralph Angel and Blue, because see, that's our babies. Those reviewers, those two, they're my babies. And we will hate to drag Benny, even though he ain't gonna give a damn. We will do it, and there's power in the voice, especially on a social media platform. So I hope that my tingling discernment is not tingling because he's not going to be an asset, but yet a liability. I'm hoping that we ain't got to see that. It's just something ain't right about Benny. I don't know what it is, y'all. I don't know. It's something about him. Now, remember Trish, the Asian girl down there to the dock? Her mama hired Ralph Angel to work down there? Yeah, okay. Well, they invited Ralph Angel to dinner. And him and Trish have sitting up having spring rolls as appetizers as the elders get the food together. And he notices this makeshift memorial that they have sitting in their living room area. And so she explains that it's to her father and her grandfather. And we got a little background about her, her upbringing, her family life and whatnot. And basically she said that she was telling how he helped get his family to America before succumbing to a disease. And that made Ralph Angel reflect back to the bonfire and how his family pays homage to the ancestors as well as Daddy Bordelon. I found it very interesting. I did. I found it very interesting how we all got our way of showing our respects to the people who have come before us. I like that. And they got a huge ass family too, because baby, when they came and brought the crawfish and stuff out, Ralph Angel felt right at home because that's the same thing he has. And you can tell it's something brewing between him and Miss Trish girl. I wonder how this gonna play out. Spelling out a dollar bag. Then the next day, Ralph Angel calls to Trish and asks her, did she want to go out and hang out, kick it with him and whatnot. And she said that she had already made some plans. She had some family obligations. Now, he thought that she was blowing him out. So he apologized for bothering her, and he went to walk away, said he understood. And she had to remind him, Ralph Angel, 6 other days in the week. And he was like, huh? She said, I'm off on Mondays. So they going to kick it on Monday, honey. They going to kick it on Monday. I said, go ahead on, Ralph Angel. I guess you're coming out of it. Now, Remy is thanking Ralph Angel for allowing him to use the land for teaching purposes. Then he tells him how proud he is of him going, doing what he's doing, farming all 800 acres of the land and whatever. And the fact that, he's able to do that is a beautiful thing. Now, up on the porch, Nova done took Solus over at her brother's house. She's sitting there trying with her laptop feet up on the porch trying to come up with ideas for her book, And, of course, Remy got to go over there and say something to her. And child, they got this attraction that I do not like because it's going to put Remy and Nova together. And after the fact that he had a whole relationship with her sister Charlie, It comes off grimy. We can't even appreciate that relationship because of what he did at first, and it got me side eyeing the fuck out of Remy. Are you the upstanding nigga we thought you was, or who you? I don't know. Well, Ralph Angel. Okay, back to Ralph Angel, because Darla had hit him up saying they needed to talk with Blue and open up about what's going on. We see the three of them sit down to try to explain that he gonna have two rooms from now on. He'll have a room here at the house with his dad, and he'll have a room over at his mom's. And you could tell he was confused. He was devastated, in fact, because he admitted that they admitted that there would be no marriage, and that they have decided that they would just be friends and raise him to, as friends. Child, he was so hurt, and I was so hurt for him. I was so hurt for him. He said, "But you said we was gonna be together forever." He got to crying, and Ralph Angel tried to console him, but he don't want to be consoled right now. He just wanted to go to his room. So he allows him to go to his room, and you can tell by the way he closed that door, he hurt. He in there just crying his heart out. And baby, Ralph Angel was hurt too. When that tear came down his eyes, I said, "Darla, you destroyed this family. Why, bitch? Why?" Ooh, she was hurt her damn self. But again, I mean, she caused all of this hurt. That scene was hard to watch, and now that it was that was actually the end of the episode, y'all. I ain't through those. Don't think it's over. I just needed to get that part on out because that was a hard ass scene to watch. That happened all later on toward the end of the episode. But stay with me because I'm about to bless you, okay? I'm about to bless you. We gonna get to what all happened in the episode, but I'm gonna say Charlotte borderline west for the last scene, because when I tell you this bitch embodied Charlie, that on that day she embodied Charlie, baby. She's the most valuable player of this episode, to be honest. Miss Charlotte borderline west, but stay with me. I'm about to bless you with other parts. Aunt Vi in Hollywood. Now, we've been seeing Aunt Vi not feeling well, so, she done spoke with her rheumatologist who have calibrated her meds, so she's supposed to feel better, right? Less aches, less pains, less lightheadedness, and whatnot. We see that she also has this flyer for a support group for her lupus, right? And which she gonna need soon. And trust, they showed us that flyer because this support group is going to play into her storyline of having lupus, because a support group is very important in my opinion, because that support group is going to understand those are like-minded individuals, people going through rheumatic differences or rheumatic diseases, chronic illnesses, just like we are. And although your family try to understand, oftentimes your family do not. They don't understand. They can sympathize. They can even empathize. But it only a person who is walking the walk can truly understand what we go through on a day-to-day basis. Anyway, she telling him about the new meds and whatnot, and by also cooking gluten-free organic meals that Nova done introduced her to. But see, don't nobody else want that shit but you, ain't Vi. Hollywood tried it for the sake of Vi feeling and to encourage Blue to eat it too, but they really don't like that, and that's one of the major things that is very pertinent for us to be okay, is that diet has to change to accommodate our new normal, and she's trying to acclimate to it, but that's your struggle. Them people ain't gonna really want to do it with you, and I do that with my family. I don't eat most of what y'all see me cook on when I do my little Facebook lives and I put the pictures up and stuff like that. I don't really eat a lot of that stuff because I can't. Now, I know how, as a chef, how to cook certain things. I know how to cook healthy meals and gluten-free meals, but they don't look as appetizing. And I only showcase what I be cooking for my family. I rarely show y'all what I be cooking for myself. I may in the future end up doing it, not on YouTube, but I might do it over on live on Facebook or somewhere like that. Later on, we see Blue in Hollywood then eased away, and they went and got them some burgers and nuggets, and child, they feasting. I said, go ahead on. Then Blue asked Hollywood if he and Vi were going to have babies when they got married, and he said no. And Blue said, he hopes his mom and pops have a baby when they get married, and Hollywood don't know what to say. Remember, he don't know yet. I just told y'all about what that scene was, but at this point in the episode, he still is unaware that his parents are breaking up and that there will be no marriage. So now he's sitting here with Hollywood, who is aware of what's going on, but he don't want to say nothing to the kid and crush his dreams. So that's what's going on. Now, I said, I'm glad I'm about taking her illness most seriously. She's gotten her meds calibrated. She's starting to eat better, which will help her because, child, let me tell you something. I was worried. You know, the last couple of episodes since the season started, at the end of them, we always see Vi going through what I call the Lady Nico syndrome. She overworking herself. She, having Raynaud's phenomenon in her hand. She extremely exhausted, and that lightheadedness is accompanying all of that. So I was worried at first. Remember, if you go back to my last review, I was like, I hope they're not building this up to slam us when something happened to this woman. But what it seems as if now they still could flip on me. But from right now, what I'm starting to see is they just showing us, the how she has to learn to accept and learn to cope and live her new normal. Because you can live, it's just a new way of living, honey. And some people don't acclimate to it right away. But it's okay. We can't be Superwoman 24/7 anymore. We gotta rest up and build it up, do it, and then go back and rest some more. She's finally learning that, and that's what I think they were actually showing us with all of the symptoms we were seeing her have. Now, Remy asked Nova to go fishing with him so she can relax and, possibly formulate some more ideas for her book. I don't like this, y'all. Oh, my damn Mother's Day balloon floating in the back. My bad, y'all. But shit, y'all done seen it. There ain't no sense in me changing nothing. I want to make sure I ain't leaving nothing out. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm right on point. Oh, did I tell y'all? Okay. Blue had snitched about the burgers and stuff they had ate. He basically was Hollywood was telling her, I'm glad you eating well, but baby, I can't do it. Same thing I just said. But, he told her that, and she understood. But then he showed her that you still can have a taste bud and eat right. And he fixed her some cauliflower mac and cheese, and that shit is good. But, that's all that happened with them. Let's get back to, let's talk this Remy and Nova thing. Because this upset my spirit, y'all. Now, she wanted to bring her laptop, but he told her no and gave her a composition notebook and told her she was going to go old school. She was just going to take her notes. Now, they out there on the boat giving me, lovers tease, and he reminiscing about how Daddy Bordelon said when he took Trudy, her mama, fishing, and she wound up pulling 5 fish to his one. He knew then that was the type of woman that he was going to want to be with for the rest of his life. Her independence is what sparked his interest. And I get from that conversation, Remy is looking pretty much for the same. Nova says she wondered how Mom would have been had she not settled into this life here. Because remember, Nova's mother is much like Nova. She was a free spirit, but she couldn't do that and have her relationship with Ernest. So she opted to just settle down right there in St. Joe and be the housewife and whatnot. But Nova want to know what it is that her mama could have possibly been had she lived and been able to live her best good free life. Okay. Later on, he brought it back up, and they were standing on the dock. He mentioned that she was saying that she don't want to conform, and he wanted to know what she meant. And she said every person I ever dated wanted something from me that I didn't have to give. She said no one ever accepted her for who she is. They always wanted her to be this type of person, do this type of thing. And he told her she deserved to have a man who loves Nova for Nova. Not Nova the activist and not Nova the journalist, but just simply Nova. Now, child, she started relaxing when he said that, and it made me feel a ways because she leaned her head over on his shoulder, and I said, Jesus. And they did the unthinkable. They kissed. And I wanted to turn the damn TV. My level of disgust is high with this part of this show, and I'm sure y'all done picked it up by now. It's real high. I don't appreciate this. Y'all, he dated Charlotte That's that girl's sister. That ain't that is her sister. They got the same daddy. They had sex. Some people forgetting that they had sex, baby. They had sex, honey. Once when she turned that meal into a makeshift place for her and Micah to stay. And then I think another time, I can't remember when, but go back. They had sex. They were in a full-fledged relationship. Now, it didn't last long because he got in his feels about what she doing with the Landry folks, trying to, infiltrate their quarter and everything, and get all the tea and be able to bring the Queen Sugar back to the Bordelon family. He ain't with that, the way she going about that, but they did have a relationship, and I'm not feeling this, because that, even though if they had put them together before Charlie, that would have been a dynamic relationship. They would have been a power couple in the book of my mind. But because he's already been in that relationship with Charlie and been close to her and acting like they was falling in love with one another, I just think that it's real classless for him to now be pursuing her sister. It makes me side-eye him like, nigga, is you who you say you is? I don't know. But I just don't like that. I don't like that at all. He came off as this stand-up guy. I wouldn't think that someone with the type of character that he has led us to believe that he has for 3 seasons now is going to sit up and start a whole new situationship with the sister of the woman he was just with. Maybe he ain't gonna go that far, but the fact that they kissed was too much for me. It just shouldn't. That don't look right, y'all. Now, Micah is now good with his friends, the little mini Black Panthers. And they over there at the Charlie house chilling. You got one got his foot popped up on a damn coffee table in the living room. The other one in the kitchen looking for milk and shit. And they talking about doing more protests just on a, bigger platform. Going like to bigger events and going to places that you normally wouldn't think shit would pop off, like a country club or something like that. And all that stuff they was talking about, it sound real good, but I'm wondering who's guiding them, or are they doing this willy-nilly? And I say that because all of them seem to be a little hot-headed, but it's that one in particular that's really hot-headed. And when you hot-headed and you ain't got no guidance, child, you reckless as hell out here. But yeah. Now, like I said, I don't know what's going on with them. They cause overall seems to be good. But when you ain't guided by nobody and you a little on the high-headed side, you do irrational things. And that's what I'm concerned about this group of people. Anyway, Charlie come home and she a little bit taken aback. He got friends up in here. I guess he ain't never had no friends up in the house when he was at the private school. Well, he done went to the public schools and the niggas is here and they in your living room. She asking him, coming over there, telling him come holler at her a minute. She won't know what's going on. He said, these are my new friends. She like, okay. Well, it's getting kind of late, so get ready to wrap it up. Then one of the dudes asked, the one I told you that's got the look like he really, really high-headed. He asked about almond milk. And did she have some regular milk? And she said that the almond milk was better for digestion. And he said, not really, because it takes a lot to get some milk out of an almond. So you still getting a watered down product. And I was like, this little boy kind of smart. He kind of smart. Charlie even realized that about him, but she still didn't stop him from basically telling Michael, tell that boy over there to get his foot off my table and get ready to wrap this up. Davis called, and Michael automatically thought that he was calling because he was trying to look for him because he been avoiding his father since last week. So he's saying he ain't there. But Charlie, he wanted to meet up with Charlie. He wasn't looking for Michael. And he wanted to meet with her the next day, like on some ASAP type of stuff. So she agrees, and when he came the next day, Michael gets his backpack, walked right past him, didn't speak or respond to him calling his name, went right on out the door and closed it. And Charlie like, what's going on with that? Because now her curiosity is piqued. And he said, 13 years ago, I had an affair. And from that, I have a 13-year-old daughter. And she said the media finna have a field day with this. Child, you can see the hurt building up in that woman. He went on to say that A month ago, the girl's mama died, and he has decided that he is going to move back to Los Angeles and care for the child. And she said, "So you did this in our city? How low can you go? I mean, you 13 years ago." He said, I told Micah I'd still be here for him. And at that point, she at boiling point. Because not only are you telling me that I really don't know who you really are, you telling me that you done told our son about this bastard baby that you got on the outside, and you ain't tell me first. Child, she got so damn mad. He gonna tell her, but I'm a good father, meaning that he done been in this girl's life for the last 13 years too. He was about to he wanted to show her a picture of the babe, of the little girl. And she, at this point, she ain't trying to hear that shit because you ain't shit. I was married to you all these years, and for 13 years of our marriage, you had a whole affair and a child that you've been involved in her life. You had a whole nother life that didn't include me, and I knew nothing about it. How dare you want to show me some innocent child face to justify your infidelities and your lies? Get the hell up out of here. He wasn't moving fast enough. She ran up on his head, started pushing the fuck out of him, and made him get the hell out. And by the way, he did tell her the baby name Tia. Child, I said, She pushed his ass up out of there, and then she is like basically holding her hands over her mouth to muffle her screams, because she literally lost it. She fell all onto the floor, over this yellow meat man that she never knew but thought she knew all these years. Child, she was tore up. When I tell you she did that, she played this role. Don, you played this role. Kudos, bitch, I shake my wig to you. Okay, kudos, girl. You did that. Child, when she was able to somewhat compose herself, she tried calling her son. He busy with his friends. She called on by. She got the voicemail. She called her siblings. She got the voicemail. Because nobody at the damn fishing pond with your damn ex-man, but I ain't going to go there. She calling everybody because she just needs someone to talk to. And the only person that was already either calling or texting her was, guess who family? Jacob. She ended up meeting with Jacob at the bar, and they getting, white folks wasted, taking shots. She heard and using alcohol to maintain her in this moment. At some point, we see them get out on the dance floor and do a dance to this old country love song by Merle Haggard. And she just need comfort. She's so done and over with everything going on, especially when it involves that piece of man she was married to. Child, she ended up getting close, and I said, Charlie, no. I know you hurt, mama, but no. Davis ain't shit, but please don't end up sleeping with the enemy. So, as the night comes to an end, there's this point where they share a kiss, and that kiss was kind of deep. And both of them felt it. But something inside of her was able to make her pull back. And I said, good girl, good girl. He felt it too, but he ended up walking away. Now, y'all, I forgot to tell y'all about Michael, because when he left home without acknowledging Davis, he went with the many Black Panthers to this plantation that they done turned into a tourist attraction. And side note, the further you go down south in Louisiana, you will see these plantations all over. And, they have become tourist attractions now. So you see the people, they still got the slave cabins out there. You got the folks dressed like they was in the 1800 doing slavery, all of that. And they just, one couple out there taking wedding photos and everything. Most Louisianians don't even mention these fucking plantations when we talk about places of interest to out-of-towners. But this show showing y'all that. And as a Louisianian, I can tell you they exist. I mean, child, I think like, what? $15 to go all around the plantation, see everything. You got folks even dressing like they did back in the slavery times, the slave owners and the mistresses and shit. Well, Mike and his crew end up on the front porch at the big house, and they just sitting there talking when this old stiff acting ass white man comes up and tells them, namely that one that I told you, the mini Black Panther with the hot headedness really deep inside of him. He told him that them chairs are over 260 years old. They consider artifacts, and you got to get your ass up. Well, that child told him, my ancestors built this, and I sit here in honor of them. We did this land over 400 years ago. So my people made this chair, and I ain't getting up doing nothing. And I was like, baby, please don't start no shit with these people. He was about to get ignorant with him because he stood up on him. Because old boy told him after he wouldn't get up, you're going to have to leave. So they all stood up. But one of them told him, come on, man, this ain't worth it. Let's just go. So they decided to leave. But I'm telling you, that little high-headed one, he wouldn't have left if the other ones hadn't convinced him to do something. Later on, we see them chilling, throwing rocks in the water. And that little reader, the one that read the white man, I told you, little high-head, he's sitting over by himself, and he just staring off. So Michael come over there and asked him if he okay, and he said, my brother over there. And the camera pans off to allow us to be able to see exactly what he was looking at, and he is looking at a penitentiary. And Michael was just sitting there with him. And, the show ends with Charlie making it home after that little date she had with Jacob. And she's sitting in the bathroom trying to come to terms with everything going on around her. She got so much pressure on her. And to top it off, the man that she was married to, who she thought she knew, she didn't know at all. Because he done came to her with some fuckery. And then on top of all that, she done kissed this man and she feeling the ways. I said, Jesus. But that was Queen Sugar, y'all. Season 3, episode 5, A Little Lower Than Angels. Please get down in the panty section and let me know your thoughts and opinions on Wednesday night's episode. And I will be back momentarily with Fuck Shit Friday. Remember, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, rate the video. Ratings get me noticed. Comment, panty section below. Subscribe to my channel. And share the video wherever it is you share videos. And we're going to talk shit swallow spit in a few minutes. Peace.